So, you're a songwriter who's been invited to participate in a co-writing session. Fantastic. Yay. You might feel nervous, anxious, or a little bloated from the croissant you had this morning. Just like going on a date or going to prison for wire fraud, there are things you want to avoid and things you can do to make sure it is a productive endeavor. Don't fear, in this video, I'll show you the do's and don'ts for co-writing sessions. For this video, we're going to meet two characters. The first character is someone I like to call the best chase scenario. This is me when I am at my best. When I check my ego at the door, I am open to constructive criticism, I am humble, open-minded, and eager to collaborate, and have recently bathed. Next, I'm going to introduce you to my alter ego, Johnny Taco. Now don't get me wrong, Johnny's a fun guy. In the bar, in the club, on the stage, on trial for wire fraud, he is the life of the party and always the center of attention. But in a co-writing session, he is the last guy you want to see sitting across from you. There are time constraints in any co-writing session, and it is essential to respect each other's time by staying focused on the task at hand. Best Chase stays focused on the songwriting process, keeping an eye on the time and making sure the team is advancing the song through the verse, chorus, bridge, guitar solo, etc. He doesn't take himself too seriously though. It's always okay to joke and go down a rabbit hole because a lighter mood helps the creative process. But he always knows when to steer the topic back to the song, ensuring the collaborators will have a productive session. Johnny Taco, on the other hand, is the definition of distracted, constantly being interrupted on his phone, committing wire fraud, or showing you inappropriate, albeit hilarious, TikToks, and always seeming to go off on a tangent that has nothing to do with the song you're trying to write. While in a co-writing session with Johnny, sometimes it feels like he is playing defense for another songwriting team, doing everything he can to derail you from the mission. This may seem helpful at first, but the purpose of this session is collaboration. By having a fully written song, you might stifle your co-writer's ability to contribute. Johnny Taco comes to the session with a voice memo of a nearly completed song he wrote about his last visit to Arkansas, and he is hell-bent on convincing you this is the direction the team should go in. And I get it, it's hard to push back while the other writer is so passionate about their idea, especially if it involves Arkansas. Best Chase, on the other hand, doesn't come with fully formed songs, but does speak up when he has an idea. Whether this is a melody idea, a chord progression, or a lyric idea, he doesn't fear ridicule and bravely offers a suggestion that might help move the song forward. Being vulnerable takes courage because what if the other person doesn't like your idea? An easy way to preface this is with, not sure if this works, but what if? What if we change this line to this? What if we use this chord? This should help ease the fear of rejection that comes with sharing new ideas. One of the hardest things about being creative is feeling confident in the decisions you are making. It is more important to make decisions than what that decision is, however. For instance, Best Chase isn't afraid to make a decision and move forward. He picks a genre with ease. He settles on a song title without much fuss, knowing that later the team can always change it if they come up with something better. Remember, nothing is written in stone unless you're co-writing with Moses. Poor Johnny is constantly suffering from paralysis by analysis. Never makes a decision because he is still debating if the song is better to start with the word blue or indigo, as if the success of his entire musical career hinged on this one choice, and everyone knows nothing rhymes with indigo. Not only that, he is wishy-washy. One minute he wants to write a song inspired by the Beach Boys, the next he thinks it should be a glam punk ballad. There is a place for perfectionism in songwriting, but that is after a first draft has been completed. It's better to keep the momentum going in the beginning and improvise. Wait until you have a solid concept before you start to pick it apart. There are two main reasons to avoid complicated chords and chord progressions. Sometimes it will be helpful for someone else to strum the chords or play the keys so that you can work on melodies and lyrics. And if you choose really complicated chords, this decreases the likelihood someone else can play along. The second reason is hit songs don't usually use fancy chords. And besides, chords can be adjusted and expanded in the later stages of the songwriting and recording process. Well, for Johnny, it gives him a chance to show off how good he is at guitar. And he also makes it so that he is the only one that can play for the whole session, which makes him feel even more special. Good for you, Johnny. Good for you. We're all so impressed. Best Chase, on the other hand, uses common chords and common chord progressions in his session. Why? Because it allows others to play along. Also, he knows the most important element of a song isn't the chords. It is coming up with a catchy melody. So he puts his focus on trying to find melodies that are easy to repeat, and memorable. So loud outside. It's crazy. We can all agree that Pixar movies are impressive. The stories, the art, and the characters are all masterfully crafted. They do this with teams of creative people, teams who have to provide criticism in order to help improve the production. To keep the benefits of criticism without negativity, Pixar uses an idea called plussing. Plussing means that anytime someone comments on another work, that comment must contain a plus, a way to improve or build on the work. Let's see how Best Chase puts this into action. If he doesn't like a line in the song and thinks it could be better, he says, "I like that line about the house feeling empty, but what if we say the house feels haunted instead?" Notice how he acknowledged that there wasn't anything inherently wrong with the first line by saying he liked it. He then suggested an improvement, but framed it as a question, so the other writer felt like they had a say in the decision. Johnny is a straight shooter. If he doesn't like something, he tells you. He could care less about your precious little feelings. He'll say things like, "I don't like the word empty," or "the verse feels blah," or 9/11 was an inside job, but never offers up any suggestions on how to make it better. Co-writing sessions take a lot of mental focus. It is normal to feel a little exhausted from the exercise. Sometimes the best thing you can do is take a break, take a walk, or leave the room. When Best Chase feels like he is not contributing to the process enough, he suggests the team take a break, get a snack, and then returns to write later. Inevitably, when taking a bathroom break, the word that has been missing for the bridge of the song finally pops into his head. Johnny doesn't want to quit. He sees this as failure. So even when the process is unproductive, he insists the team dig deep and keep going, when it would be better to just step away from the process for a minute to re-energize. Aim for completion, not perfection. Art is never finished. Movie studios release new movies, but they never finish them. Johnny is constantly getting bogged down on the tiniest details. He thinks each line of each verse needs to be perfect for the song to be a hit. He takes himself and the song way too seriously. Best Chase isn't concerned with perfection. Instead, his goal is progress. He is okay with saying, "Let's keep that line until we come up with something better."